Well, that GT trailer was pretty fire, I guess. Time to, wait a day and then I'll just check. I'll do the reaction video, breakdown, Sunday, I guess? Okay. I guess we'll start a bit of research and whatnot, see what the general public has to say about the trailer. Okay, mistakes happen. Let's just check general. We'll just check general news, you know. Greetings everyone, I'm RTR and welcome back to Sparking Zero news and trailers and everything surrounding it, you know, the general stuff. And what stuff has happened? I don't know where to be. I don't know where to begin. It's genuinely baffling. For the past 48 hours, I'm recording this on Sunday the 15th of September. Got about 3.5 weeks until the game's released, and a multitude of things have happened, which I will get to it periodically. There will be no spoilers for stuff that has not been revealed for Sparking Zero. Physically, I will be talking about them. So, okay, that's your warning. Done. Okay, if you get spoiled, it's on you now. Got 3 things to cover. 2 of them are actually related to Sparking Zero itself. 1 of them is related to the channel. Get that over and done with first. Countdown Sparking Zero. I said it before, say it again. Thank you so much for supporting the series. We're currently, I think, 10 episodes in, time of recording. I'm enjoying it so much, even with the many technical hiccups we've had at the moment. But I have been really enjoying it for the time being. I said I don't have Ariane to play it with me anymore. He probably will return at some point, hopefully. But I've been enjoying it, whether it's been on my own or with someone. It's been really fun to do, and the first actual series on the channel. So, and I was hoping that this was a personal goal for me, that I could get something to consistently run on the channel for a long time. Like I said, hiccups, I don't really count those. Like I said, we'd have to skip a day, but I'm going to make up for that with another day later on. So I'm very glad you guys are showing support to the series. I've seen some, a couple of them blown up, which is really nice. Blown up for my proportions anyway. But yeah, I'm going to give a thank you for just watching the series and supporting it, because it's something that does genuinely mean a lot to me. It's one of my favourite things I put a lot of time and extra effort into. Like I said, this is like 6 to 8 months in the making, and so to see it actually get views, like whether it be 5 views, to me it doesn't matter. But thank you. On to the big news. I thankfully managed to avoid the trailer before the trailer came out, because I just woke up, had an average day, went to go record the reaction to the GT trailer, and which as you can see is looping on in the background right now. I'm just gonna have that in the background for probably the remainder of the video. But apparently, well, not apparently, I know. The good thing I didn't check Twitter in the morning. Nano, Genix, Datadoya, AfroSenju, and Rhymestyle, for Dragon Ball and anime YouTubers, were given the trailer early to react to and upload when the trailer dropped with everyone else, so they could just instantly do it and garner attention and views towards the video. Nano, being the main one to record it all, looks like they scheduled it for, like, I think it was 2 to 3 hours before the trailer dropped, which, big no-no, absolutely massive no-no, just not allowed to do. It was an accident, of course. But yeah, apparently everyone already saw. I am amazed, by the way, because I was looking at the chat. I even made reference to it. So I've got to thank the Dokkan community for saving me from spoilers by spamming that awful intro for that god-awful unit. It's just amazing, the fact that I didn't get spoiled from that. I've got the Dokkan community came in clutch. That has its own problems at the moment, which the celebration is kind of, at the moment, for my Dokkan heads out there, I guess you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we didn't get off to a good start of the weekend, with the trailer being leaked early, and Nano hasn't said anything publicly about it for obvious reasons. He went silent for like 3 days, I think, from YouTube and Twitter. It only has just come back once the Dokkan units dropped to just do a video on it, and has not said anything else about it. So as kind of funny as it is that everyone in the comments and replies is like, "Oh, Bandai got him," they snapped him up. I can imagine the stress going through his head right now, because that is potentially like that could cut ties with the company. It is really, really bad. So I bet he wasn't feeling as bad though, as I think maybe 24 hours, maybe even less than 24 hours later, a next to final build got just leaked by some Japanese user on Twitter and YouTube. It just happened. Like we saw. I think everyone. We now know, I think, all the characters that are going to be in Sparking Zero. The reason why I say it's a near final build is I think from what we saw in the video, I think there are characters that were confirmed, that have already been confirmed in trailers that weren't in that build. So we know it's not the final build. So there might be even still characters left that we don't know about. But yeah, it's out there. It is out there, and I tried to avoid it as best I could. By muting words on Twitter and whatnot. I do a really good job at spoiling myself. That is a tip, by the way, if you do primarily use Twitter as like your main source of information and don't want to get spoiled on something, the muted words tab on Twitter is a godsend. It has kept me spoiled from movies and games and shows and whatnot for years now. It is a really, really good tool. It's been around forever, just no one seems to use, as long as you really fill it out. But unfortunately, YouTube isn't that generous, so I have seen a couple of characters here and there, to the point where I ended up seeing like stuff that I knew would just spoil the next trailer for me. So I just caved in, watched the video, and yeah, I now know the rest of the cast for Sparking Zero, and the pre-order character as well. So this is, like I said, a final warning. I'm not going to be showing the video for a multitude of reasons. One, I don't want people to be visually spoiled if they're still just wanting me to talk about it. And also, I don't want a video to get taken down because I have a small channel and they could just, they can just do that. So I'm going to just talk about it and have gameplay, as you're seeing right now, looped in the background, and occasionally cut to this fucking ugly bug. So yeah, like I said, I've tried to delay it long enough. Let's talk about the leaks. Big surprise for me. Well, yeah, I guess there is quite a big surprise, is the fact that they lied. They lied about the amount of character slots. As you know, at the end of every trailer, we get to see a massive sprawl of all the character slots, and at the time of the most recent official trailer, the GT1, there were 10 slots left on the big character board thing. There are more than 10 characters in this build. There are more than 10 characters added. Originally, when constructing a what-if roster build that I did a while ago, it was really hard to place GT characters in, which is why I originally thought GT characters, and many other people thought GT was going to be DLC, because how are you going to fit all these characters in? There's so much Super left unrepresented. There's the movie stuff, which kind of seemed like it would get in based on both Gogeta and Broly being labeled as the super variants of themselves. So it was kind of obvious that we were going to get movie stuff, and it turns out we were right, as well as GT getting in, because they just lied about the amount of slots to get people guessing. It's a very smart thing to do. I do like the amount of people speculating what could and couldn't get in, but it turns out it is just Budokai 3's roster, minus 2 characters really, I think, or 3. It's managing a lot of OG Dragon Ball stuff, because as far as we're aware, Kid Goku is the only OG character that has been added into the game. No Demon King Piccolo, which I'm personally setting out. No Chi-Chi, no Nam. I'm trying to think of anyone else. No Arale, which Arale was pretty obvious as to know. I actually thought Beelzebub, I think is his name, from Sandland. I thought he was going to be the pre-order character. Turns out it's Daima Goku. It is Goku from Daima, which has its pros and its cons. I mean, a lot of people did originally guess that, and I think if you had asked me, if you had told me hey, I know the character is going to be Daima Goku, about like 2 months ago and begun, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I accept that now. But with the recent Daima trailer showing that he does go Super Saiyan in that form, it's kind of, how are they going to do DLC? Are they just going to add a transformation to Daima Goku with the DLC? Who knows? We don't know. So it is going to be an interesting one, and I hope we do get a Daima Super Saiyan, a Super Saiyan 2, maybe Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Daima itself after it releases. I know I mentioned it earlier, but Z Broly is in the game, as we kind of speculated with both Gogeta and the Broly super variants having super parentheses. And we also now know that because of that, we know that there are a Z version of Broly and a Z version of Gogeta. So we are getting Super Gogeta as a just standalone character in the game from movie 11, 13, as well as Janemba. Both versions. Oh my god, the Janemba in this game is ginormous. I think he's easily the biggest character in the game by far. Like, he towers over the Great Apes, which I find really, really cool. Like, he is like size accurate. I think he is like one of the biggest things in Dragon Ball. I think from what I can, off the top of my head, apart from like some like Shenron itself, I don't think there are many other characters that are fighters, I guess, that are as big as or bigger than I guess Bergamo, I guess, is the only one that counts really, but Bergamo in this game doesn't have like the giant form. I don't think. He just gets slightly bigger when he fights or takes damage. Interesting one here is, I'm genuinely surprised this is in the game, but they're adding a Frieza soldier. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, by the way, but they're adding a Frieza soldier. They're just adding like a Frieza grunt, like the generic like one from, I think he was in BT3. We know Cybermen in the game. That was kind of obvious, and because the Frieza trailer already passed, like the Namek Saga trailer already went, and we didn't see a Frieza soldier, a lot of people just went, there's no point because it's just a wasted slot. But now we know that they can just do as many slots as they originally wanted to. Doesn't matter, just throw a Frieza soldier in. What is an absolute surprise, though, is the movie lineup of characters they have in this game, because they just have, as far as I'm aware, I think they just have every movie villain. They have, from Dead Zone, they have Garlic Jr. They have Wheelo from World's Strongest, Dr. Wheeler. They have him as a character. Turles, Lord Slug, who can actually go into his like giant Namekian form, which we'll kind of get to in a bit. Some theories I had early on made me think that potentially another giant Namekian could get in, but we'll talk about that in a second. Cooler, both forms of Cooler, and Metal Cooler as well. Android 13, Super Android 13, both versions of Bojack, Janemba, of course, who I've already mentioned, and Hirudegarn and Tapion. So they got all the movie lineup cast of characters, as well as, like I said, Broly, who has who's just movie 8 Broly. It's not no Second Coming. He might have a costume for Second Coming. I would like to see a costume for Second Coming Broly. And no Bio Broly, but yeah, who you want Bio Broly in the game? No. As I mentioned earlier, like I said, Kid Goku's the only Dragon Ball representation in this game, which is fine, I guess. I think I would have liked to see Chi-Chi and Piccolo in. Like, I think that's the most I think you could have reasonably got away with, because you've got Roshi, who basically is like, no matter whether he's like the Z version or the Super version, he's still going to, like, it's Roshi, so you can kind of just categorize him for all of Dragon Ball, since he doesn't do that much in Z or Super, so he just kind of has his Dragon Ball moves, which he does. And I know this version, I think, is more based around the Super version, which in itself is based around the original Dragon Ball version. But yeah, it is strange for me personally, as someone that is quite a big original Dragon Ball fan, to not have the Junior in there. I would have liked to see. My original theory behind him even being in the game was they showed off like the fact that they had Great Apes in like really early material, because like one of the first characters revealed, like the Rivals trailer, was Great Ape Vegeta, and then they proceeded to not show as a single other Great Ape large character for a while, and the game developer in me decided to go, but hold up, if they're gonna just make one model, like one like set of movements for a giant character and give it to one character, that doesn't make sense. They have to have been more. Like, I feel like it put any other Saiyan having the transformation like Bardock or King Vegeta, which King Vegeta isn't in this game, and Bardock doesn't have that transformation, as far as we're aware. And Namekians, which at the time I had like half ruled out movie characters, so I was thinking original Janemba and Lord Slug was like possibility of DLC maybe, but the obvious answer felt like Piccolo, like giving Piccolo his giant. I felt like the most easiest thing they could do, and it looks like they just haven't done it, which is a shame. I don't think that we'll get a Junior in. I say that, but I don't think they actually don't like to do OG Dragon Ball stuff as DLC packs because they're not as profitable as, let's say, Super 17 or the other GT characters that are absent from this game, which are definitely going to get sold as DLC at some point, like Base Vegeta, Trunks, who's just not in there. I can see them slotting Goten or some shit, maybe, and then Super 17 and Hellfighter 17 being one of them, Android 18 from that movie, so I can see them sliding a whole lot of stuff in there. Base Vegeta, if I haven't said that already. Like, it's staples that I feel like should be in the game, but I can obviously see that they had to cut some GT stuff, so they decided to cut the Super 17 arc, which only lasts for about 12 episodes, I believe. I think it's it's about as long as the first Dragon Ball arc is. So it's not a particularly long one, so I can see why they decided to cut that one of all. But yeah, that is the leaks, I guess. That's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And it's full, like I said, it looks like, because I see them, they're going to do one based around movies. It seems like that is the next trailer that's going to come out, and we know, they have said in interviews that we will know every character in-game officially before the game comes out. I think this includes Daima Goku as well, because Daima will have started by the time the game releases. So it makes you wonder, how are they going to slot in Frieza Soldier and Kid Goku into stuff? How are they going to slot them in? Also, in a really, really, really early on, I forgot to mention this, for why I think I knew Kid Goku was going to be in the game. There was a image in the background of one of the story segments of this game that was shown off, and it showed a model of Kid Goku. So that also like outright confirmed to me that we were getting original Dragon Ball content in the first place, which made me think the Piccolo thing was more likely. So, but yeah, I don't know how they're gonna fit, because the two outliers here is Kid Goku and that Frieza Soldier. I don't know how they're gonna fit those into like trailers. We'll just have to wait and see. So it looks like we're due maximum 2 more trailers before release, which is a lot to cram in 3 weeks. So in terms of reacting to them, I'm not gonna bother. Because what's the point in I've already reacted to them. But this is kind of a reaction video anyway. So I expect maybe breakdowns on just like the more generic stuff. I'm not gonna do a breakdown of the GT trailer because this is kind of a supplement for it, to be honest. I'm just kind of, a lot of bigger things came to my attention, so maybe I'll do a reaction, a breakdown video on the trailers as they come out. I don't entirely know, but one thing is going to be certain, the other thing that is continuing is Countdown to Sparking Zero. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like and a comment below. Tell me if you have seen, try and keep, if you are going to comment stuff, try and keep spoilers to a minimum in the comments below. Try not to put anything to spoil the people in the comments below, because some people might have only watched the first half of this video, so please be respectful for that, guys. And without further ado, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, Countdown to Sparking Zero. We have an interesting one, I'll put it that way. Peace.